All right. So, welcome back to the Unseen Threads podcast. Thanks for joining us for episode 3. As we promised last week, we had or 2 weeks ago rather, we had some special things planned for you, and they didn't really work out the way that we wanted to. However, we are joined here today with some special guests. We have Nigel, CEO of 5K, and Jeffrey, director of 5K Design, joining us today to kind of give a background on the brand that sponsors the craze that's called Unseen Threads. Once again, we are sporting some of their outfits, so you can kind of see what it looks like life size on people wearing it. You know, sometimes when you're shopping online, it's kind of hard to just look at a mannequin or just a display unit, rather just getting to see it on people that most of you do know personally, and hopefully the ones that are tuning in that don't know us personally, hopefully we'll be able to meet you guys soon. But I'm sporting one of the original The Ones tees. Bree has the Ones tracksuit, which is a pretty much a big staple for 5K. I know tracksuits are a little bit more weather friendly right now, but soon to be transitioning into some lighter wear for the summer that we're excited to hear about. We have Nigel wearing the CEO special, so unfortunately, if you want that, it's not for sale. And we have Jeffrey wearing some of the 5K golf, the quarter zip, which is a part of the 5K golf line that has, golf gloves, polos, quarter zips, and you name it. So once again, if you are interested in any of the pieces that we're wearing, please check it out at www.5kenterprise.com. If you actually use code UnseenThreads, you will get 10% off on your next order. And if you're just kind of window shopper and you want to look, that is okay too. Just refer it to a friend, because I'm sure there's probably someone that will see an article of clothing that maybe either you own or that we own that they may find that they like. So once again, www.5kenterprise.com and use code UnseenThreads. So without further ado, I guess we'll jump right into it. So thanks for joining us, guys, once again, taking time out of your super busy schedule. Um, sorry. But 5K. I mean, you guys are busy. I don't know what you're doing, but you're busy, definitely. So, talk about 5K. Tell me, what is this whole 5K enterprise all about?
So 5K actually stands for 5 kids. Not a lot of people know that. But now it's 8 strong members and kind of has grown into something that we're pretty proud of. But started with me, myself, Jeffrey, Nathan, Kalen, and Josiah. So those 5, and kind of added along the way Ahir Uguak and Awak Piam, and yourself. So it's grown quite a bit, and obviously we're super happy that it's gone the way that it has. But we are super lucky, and I think the most unique thing about our brand is that we've known each other for more than 20 years now. We played together on the same basketball team in Edmonton when we were all kids. Played for Nathan's dad actually, and kind of started calling ourselves that name since we were little, and it's grown now into what is a clothing brand by athletes. So that's basically the rundown of what it
It's
is.
very cool. I mean, a lot of people, it's interesting that you say you guys have been friends for, I think it was over 20 years, right? And you guys are all still in your 20s. So I think it's something definitely that doesn't really happen often, right? A group of guys that are very close knit, and obviously since being around all of you guys and, getting to know Nathan, Kalen, and everybody, and even like the newer people like here, it seems like everybody that is around the brand and involved, all for lack of a better term, kind of have a common goal of, like, not just forwarding the brand but forwarding themselves in their everyday lives, which I think is very important, because a lot of people, when they start something, it's like, okay, well, we got to do this, we got to do this. But I think a lot of it, at least in my experience in the last year or so, has been like, well, we got to do this, but how else can we support you? So definitely kudos to you for that. So speaking of like everyday lives, so I think you're working, correct? You're currently still in school. How does the whole working on the brand with school, how does that balance?
I mean, definitely have to take a time to, work on schoolwork and then try to, help Nigel where he can and putting designs together for the new season. Obviously, coming out with Golf Line last year was a big thing for us. And then this winter, trying out with a couple new sweatsuits and going with the Stinger sweatsuit collab was really good, really big for us. And then we're planning on coming out with a champion selection too. It's actually going to be pretty big. We're going to expand that a certain way that we haven't before. It's going to be really big. It's going to be really cool. But I think the biggest thing is, taking it day by day and just looking at other things or like inspiration and other brands and looking what are they doing, what are they doing well, and what could they do better at. And I think just kind of tackling that and transforming that into our brand and kind of working on that. So
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious so I guess that kind of leads me into the next question for either of you, and kind of curious to hear both concepts, because obviously the brand, you could probably look back on one of your first, drops compared to how things are now. How does that inspire? I know G, you kind of alluded to it, but how does that inspiration look like? Is it solely from like seeing something maybe on Pinterest or wherever you get your inspo from? Maybe it's Instagram, or other brands, or is it like one day you guys might be talking and you're like, oh, we should do this? Or
it's a good question. I think it starts with conversations, like just everyday conversation. We're talking about, well, what do we want to do this summer? And then you kind of go and look at, let's say, someone in Mexico, and it's like, oh, wow, this is like a very unique design. And then we're kind of like, okay, well, let's try to do a photo shoot, or let's take photos of what's going on over there and kind of and like relate it to our brand and say like what are they like right now, and kind of looking for new ideas. And so it starts with conversations, and then it kind of goes to what's on social media, because obviously that's a big platform. I mean, he's a marketing genius, he knows what to do, where to look and stuff. And I think it just starts with the conversations, and then we kind of just go from there. And
What would you guys say are like some of the biggest challenges of taking the conversation and putting them into actual pieces and like bringing them to real life and like where people can buy them on your guys' website?
I would say that's probably one of the easiest parts for us, especially. I think we usually relate like a lot of the stuff that we wear to stuff that we do in real life. Like if you look at all of our collections closely, it's usually has to do with what we're actually doing, right? Like we like to lounge after games, we're wearing a sweatsuit. We're always wearing t-shirts. We golf quite a bit in the summer. Came out with a golf line. The Champions collection coming out, we've been touched by, a lot of people in this world and different sports and playing different sports, and that's kind of what we're going after with that collection. And then, we have some pretty big stuff ready for winter, and it's just kind of relates back to what we always have done and what we're going to be doing, right? So it's
yeah,
pretty easy.
yeah. And I would add on to that and say it's an athlete lifestyle brand, so it's kind of like, as former or still current athletes, it's a lifestyle, right? So what our lifestyle is outside of the game, or whatever our craft is, it is finding, am I going to go home and lounge, or am I going to go out for a quick bite? Am I going to go on a trip on a plane, right? I don't want to be wearing something extremely formal all the time. I want to be comfy, right? So yeah, I'd say that is one of the easier parts. Yeah.
yeah, I think in my experience, like I think I've shared with you both in various times. Like for me, especially being like a consumer, like the one thing I don't like, especially like working in a clothing retail store, I hate going to like H&M and buying something, because I know they're mass market, like even Lululemon, like those guys, big chains. It's hard for me personally as a person to go spend money there, because I know there's not a lot of care and attention, at least from what I can see. I'm sure like someone came up with an idea in their basement and now it's bloomed to this whole big thing. But I find it, me personally, a lot easier to support like one, someone that I know, two, kind of like when I see the hard work that goes into it, it like makes you proud to like want to wear something that, especially that now you kind of have a hand in, right? Or like someone that I know personally is creating from scratch.
Yeah, and I think honestly, we try to make it easier for like someone like you said that's looking to support local. We try to make it easier for you by making sure that our quality is, a step down from Lulu, right? It's something that you can comparatively see is, good, thick quality that you would wear every day, and it makes it easier for you to become a repeat customer, and it makes it easier for us.
Yeah, yeah. I think the other impressive thing that I've noticed, because I've known guys like in high school that have done clothing brands, anybody could order like 250 Gildan shirts and slap a logo on it, right, and call it a day. But I think for me, the most thing that impressed me, and I don't know if you can resonate, like obviously going to the gym, I've worn the same shirt playing drums, going to church, at the gym, sitting here now, right? That I can wear it at different like places, right, and not feel like, oh, like they have this line that's strictly for, for example, I don't really golf, but I've worn the golf tees or the polos to work, like when I go into the office, right? So I think that is something that is such a unique thing about your brand that allows
Very versatile. Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah, we try to be versatile and at the same time providing good quality, because I think at the end of the day, the most important part is the
quality.
customer.
Yeah, and the
I
customer.
mean quality,
Yeah, but you're right.
but for the customers, right?
Right.
It's customer convenience.
And
So.
I'm just thinking, like, from a standpoint of like, for me, I mean, aside from you guys being like close friends, it's very easy for me to want to buy more shirts, knowing that, okay, I don't have to solely leave this shirt for this purpose, right? So definitely when it comes to like, marketing and design, I feel like those things kind of work hand in hand in that scenario. So I think you guys are doing a good job. So talking about quality, I'm sure you want to probably have some questions too, but what do you look for in your clothes? Like when you're, getting these samples, like do you just like blindly pick, or like how does it work?
Honestly, yeah, I just blindly I just blindly pick someone from China. That's what I do. But no, I think honestly it was a really, really long process for me, especially trying to kind of find a manufacturer that I can work with. And there's so many different aspects that people don't realize: timing, cost, right, quality, and if you can actually trust the person on the other side that you've never met, right, to be on time with your shipments. Because as we've grown, obviously we need to make deadlines when we drop stuff. People are waiting for their orders, and when people buy it, they want it now, right? So we're lucky enough to have our first few successful drops where we're able to get bulk now instead of
Trying out
yeah,
multiple manufacturers,
exactly, right.
trying to
So
see.
it's super it's a lot easier now, but in the very beginning, obviously it's extremely, extremely difficult, and it's something, it's not for everyone. But trying to find, just finding someone that you can trust. And I'm lucky to have three manufacturers, one in Switzerland, one in China, and one in Pakistan. And they do, all of our different collections respectively. So it's pretty easy now for me to just hit them up and say, listen, I need this restocked. I need this in a different
They
color.
already have like the templates,
Right.
so
So
they know.
yeah, exactly. And they make all their t-shirts the same, so people know exactly what they're getting when they buy it. Right. So
But it definitely didn't start out as easy.
Yeah, I want to hear about like do you remember the very first t-shirt?
yeah, I remember the first t-shirt. It was I ordered it from China, and it was obviously just a sample. It cost me, I think, like $120 or something like that. So I think I got finessed. I'm pretty sure I got finessed, but I got a couple. I got a couple, but they were in an extra large. I asked for an extra large, and they came, and
It
they
was a
were
Chinese extra
Size was crazy.
yeah, Asian sizes, which they're, I guess they're smaller than
a lot different.
America, which is fair, which is valid, but came in and it was like probably fit like
Crop
my
top.
stomach.
The
Yeah,
crop
and it
top.
was just
Yeah.
it was horrible. It was horrible. It was good quality though. So
Just too small.
just way too small. Way too small.
How did you, not to reopen the wound or anything, but how did you feel in that moment? Like when you like have this sample, you're probably like super excited. You're like, my sample's coming in. We're about to start this, and then you get this baby tee.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think I was that upset.
No,
I really wasn't. Like I'm the type of person to kind of just roll with whatever happens. To be honest, that's just my nature. We've had setbacks our whole lives, right? So
Yeah.
it's nothing new for us, especially as athletes. Every athlete knows you always have setbacks. It's
There's adversity.
what happens, right? So
Yeah, but I also think too, like after that stuff happening, it's not kind of like discouragement. It's kind of like, well, I probably should have mentioned, hey, we want we want it to fit like this because over here in North America we have people who are this size. The double XLs are actually like 6'8". We have guys like I hear 6'6", right? But they don't understand that. But they weren't informed on that stuff. So it's not their fault. And like you said, you just roll with it. Like now you know better for next time. You're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some. So that's good.
What's advice that you guys would give to someone who's wanting to start like a clothing brand from the beginning based on like certain mistakes or like speed bumps that you guys came across when you guys first started?
I would say honestly, me personally, I would say just start. Just start. That's the main thing. Like starting is the first step to creating anything. Because a lot of people have the idea. A lot of people come up to me at pop-ups and be like, "Hey, like I was gonna start this clothing brand. Oh shit, but like, you
Yeah,
know,
but I didn't.
But then they
at the
just
end of
did
the
it.
day,
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you never did. So I
Right.
think making that first step for anyone trying to create anything is, the most important part. And for us, I think, uh, again, setbacks were natural. Like it's just something that's going to happen to everyone. Everyone's going to make a mistake. It's just how you learn and how you get back to, staying on track. This is the goal. It's not going to be a straight line.
Yeah, I'd probably say just trust the process. When things get difficult, don't bail. And when you start, don't half-ass it. Do it 100% because I think a lot of people will do things. They know they have the capability to do it, but then they realize when that block comes, it's like, okay, maybe this isn't the thing for me. But they never really gave that full 100%, right? And so they never gave it a real chance. And I think just trust the process because I think at that point you will succeed. You will succeed eventually. So.
No, that's fair. I mean, very interesting. Like, when people like will come up to you and they're like, "Oh, like, I had this idea, but," and it's like there's always that like but, the
There's
but
always the
aspect,
excuse, right?
right? Always there that excuse there. So, what would be like your biggest, if you can think back to like brainstorming phase or like whatever phase you're in when you're doing this, um, like trying to gather all this information to put this brand to life, what would you say the biggest risk so far that you faced in having this brand?
Biggest risk, probably would be our first bulk order, which was the one sweatsuit, our staple sweatsuit, which luckily, we sold out of every pair except for maybe some pants. But putting our money out there, after we've made money from the brand on our first drops, it's pretty daunting, I would say, to risk that sort of capital on something that you're not really sure will work out. But I think it's very easy when you have a group of guys that are supporting you and supporting each other to kind of make that decision and make that choice to go all in. And that's basically what we did, and it paid off for us. I think so.
Yeah, and yeah, I'd say with a high risk comes high reward, and at first you're very overwhelmed. You don't know how it's gonna go. I mean, and that's another thing is just never try to predict what's gonna happen. Never try to guess how it's gonna go. You never really know how it's going to
Get
go.
in your own head too,
Exactly,
right?
getting in your own head. But then I think as you start rolling, okay, that snowball is starting to roll. It's like, okay, well, let's keep doing this. Let's just keep going, and then eventually, like you said, we sold out of the sweatsuits. So it's been
amazing.
extremely humbling journey, I think, so thus far.
Oh, that's fair. What would be, I guess, the biggest contrast that you've seen from day one to day whatever this is now? Like in your operations, or like have you took certain steps to make things more efficient, or what? Because obviously day one probably looks like you guys brainstorming on the phone, you in your basement. Um, what does that look like?
Yeah, from day one to almost actually over a year now in, it's night and day. It's night and day for us. It's unbelievable, honestly, how long and how far we've come. But it's interesting. We've added quite a few members and obviously people behind the scenes that have been doing work for us. We have obviously G is our lead designer, but he oversees our designer that makes all of our, products. And
That come to life. All of our ideas come to life.
yeah, and then we have Kat, who actually does most of our operations day to day and talks with our content creators and, comes to all our photo shoots and makes sure everything's running smoothly. Obviously, we're very, very busy, and sometimes I can't, be there, right? Sometimes I can't do everything. Sometimes G can't be there. Sometimes he can't do everything, right? So it's all about the people that are around us, which is making this thing continue to run smoothly, and putting our trust in those people to make the same decisions that we would if we weren't there, right? So it was a long journey finding our designer, finding operations, finding our models, and everything takes time. But I think that in the end we've chosen and kind of running things very smoothly now. Chosen people that we trust and that are making good decisions. So
Or competent. Yeah.
Awesome.
Any other questions? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
You
all.
sure?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
earlier you had these millions of questions that you're gonna
I
ask.
asked all my
Oh,
questions.
is that right? Okay. I guess only other thing. Talk to me about summer 2024. Is there anything that you can kind of give the viewers without giving away all your trade secrets on what's new on the horizon?
Champion collection.
Okay, but like, what is a champion? Like, yeah, what is a champion?
Just be prepared for the champion collection.
Is there any shorts? Is there any like?
Yeah. I mean, as summer approaches, I think it'd be important to get some shorts out there for sure. Um, Maybe even thinking of doing some sunglasses. Just kind of some more attire for golf, or we're just trying to think of new ways to stay creative and keep the customers happy and keep that retention coming in. So I think we definitely have, like I said, the champion collection coming out.
Okay. Anything else you got? Like I got man's grilling me talking about what's next for 5K, and I don't know what to say. So, is there any special collabs? Anything else notable?
well, if we told you, you wouldn't want to follow
And then
along.
it wouldn't be special.
You're the
Right?
worst. Hey, like you heard it, champion collection, whatever that is. Um, stay tuned for that. I mean, aside from it's definitely again very interesting to hear like the background and how stories kind of come to life. Even knowing some of it, a lot of it is still new and definitely refreshing to see people still trying to come towards a common goal and support each other. Speaking about the original five, and then now the additions of some of the names that you mentioned. So again, Champion Collection. The good thing about the Unseen Threads code is it works on everything. It's not restricted to a specific line like some places do. So again, if you check them out and if you find anything from the Champion Collection that you like, do buy, do support. You can follow them at 5K Enterprise on Instagram, as well as visit the website www.5kenterprise.com. Free shipping worldwide as well, which is big, because not a lot of places offer free shipping. You gotta be paying that tax. I ain't paying it.
Can't afford it.
Can't afford it. It's too expensive, So I guess I want to go into something, something a little bit more like less uptight, more relaxed. So obviously, you guys both have TikTok, right? Okay, so I don't know if I guess it's for you page, so it's for me, but essentially, there's been a lot of crazy stuff on TikTok right now. I feel like the for you page is like a lot of trending topics. So, have you guys seen a lot of things that are happening like with like Nickelodeon and like
Oh my.
well, yeah. So, do you want to? Because I think you've been kind of following it.
Yeah. Well, we watched like I think 2 episodes of the
Quiet-
documentary. Have
Quiet
you guys
on
heard?
Set?
Yeah. Quiet
No,
on Set? Have
no,
you heard
no.
about
I've heard
that?
of it, but I haven't.
Yeah, I haven't seen the actual
I'm-
documentary, but I've seen a lot of disturbing things. Yeah.
A lot of spoilers.
So there's so much coming out. There was like a lot of Nickelodeon stars that are talking about like the scenes. They were showing some of like the scenes that they were doing. They had like obviously they're kids. I don't know what's going on, but like looking back on it now, it's like, what was that? But Dan Schneider, who is what, producer?
Yeah,
Yeah,
producer.
What?
No, producer. I'm just thinking.
Producer of Nickelodeon came on another podcast and basically like admitted to
Yeah.
he was like, it's not like what I did was wrong, but
The way he acknowledged it was like extremely slimy.
I don't
So,
know
like,
why he would say that.
Yeah,
Like, how is he not in jail right
I
now?
don't know. And honestly, like, okay, so I saw a spoiler of. I used to watch this iCarly show, and
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
this. I forget what his name was, but he's the dreaded guy who worked in the little restaurant with the
Tebow?
smoothies. Tebow.
Yeah.
And he took him on set,
Yeah.
right? And he's like, to my understanding, like you essentially assaulted these kids. And he's like, yeah, he almost said it wasn't one of my funniest moments. I'm just like, he's
And
like,
he's like, I owe a lot
do
of
know."
people an apology.
Yeah, and I was like, huh? No, you owe yourself a
Sorry
damn
for
life
assaulting you.
Like what?
Yeah, so
I
it's
was, yeah,
yeah, it's crazy because it's almost like he is admitting it without admitting it,
exactly.
right?
But that is him admitting it, though. Because he never once said none of that happened. The
Well, yeah,
massages that
he didn't
happened,
deny it. You're right. He didn't deny it,
but
right?
he also went along with it.
It's almost like he doesn't regret any of it, even though he's saying
probably
I
doesn't.
regret it, but I feel like he really doesn't.
He just said like I'm changed now, and what I did in the past was wrong, and I would never do that now. Apparently, he has a kid now too. I think.
See, what I don't understand and what I was going to ask is where are the parents? But they weren't allowed on set.
No.
But when I think about it, my parents are easily following me no matter what anyone says.
But see, I think it's the kids. Like Amanda Bynes was like one of his main. Like that was like his favorite. He would take her everywhere. Her parents weren't really there.
Yeah.
So I think that. Are you good?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Did you have to say something?
yeah. Yeah, I'm just waiting my turn.
So I think that because her parents weren't as involved, he saw that. So kids,
Exploited that.
I think some of their parents were involved, but he just wouldn't be as creepy with those kids.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think he had a preference
For sure.
because remember we watched it I don't know how to say this without getting canceled. That black kid. So the black kid got kicked off the show because remember his mom started to go
was causing
ballistic.
Scenes, though, like,
Okay, but was his mom causing scenes or was she just being a good mom?
She was being a good mom, but she was causing scenes on set. Like she was.
What was she doing though?
She was being like, wasn't she asking why he's not getting more screen time or something?
Yeah, see, that's kind of crazy. She's just greedy, to be honest.
But also, I think she started noticing that he was favoriting other kids, and that's when she started saying something.
Right.
I think when you're saying, how did the parents not do anything about it, kind of thing. I think at the end of the day, a lot of the parents their kids are bringing home a lot of money for that household, and it's almost like the parents are abusing their kids because they're like they know. Maybe they do know what's happening. I don't actually know, but like they know what's happening. But they're like, well, they're turning a blind eye, and they're bringing home a paycheck. So let's kind of just allow it, even though we know it's wrong. Because I mean, it's not just Nickelodeon. I mean, there's like the Michael Jackson allegation. There's there's actually real proof of Jeffrey Epstein and stuff, but like stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's like the parents knew what was happening, but I just feel like, at the end of the day, they're being honestly just narcissistic. I mean, they're just like, well, okay, well, I need a paycheck, so let me just get my kid to do it, because obviously they can't go on the show, right? So it's like my kid goes through that kind of trauma.
That reminds me of Amanda Bynes. Have you guys seen her recently?
Yeah, I have. It's scary.
It's so sad.
It's sad.
It's literally like so sad.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't even seem like she's like, think about all the trauma that she would have that she would have gone through and
Yeah.
like how she is the way that she is now.
Yeah, so I think the craziest thing, I don't know, because you were saying it, like, I feel like Dan Schneider, he is so comfortable with this whole, I mean, one, there's something wrong with him, like, first thing. But second thing, I think you were saying because he was so, in the first episodes that we watched, they were explaining how close he was with Amanda Bynes. And, like, because she's not mentally well right now,
Matured, yeah.
she's like the only person that could speak to like
saying
the extent of like what was happening.
I don't think she would ever say anything in the
She-
state that she's in right now.
She probably wouldn't. She probably wouldn't.
People wouldn't hold her like credible.
Yeah, exactly. People would say she's not like
They say like she's insane.
what. Yeah, she's insane. So like her,
But I
whatever
don't-
she would testify on, or if she even
Yeah.
would just be like, well, you're not mentally fit.
Yeah, it reminds me of like Britney Spears too, because I think that that's something that she
And
also
another
went
one
through
like
too.
that too. It's also, I feel like it's just that industry. A lot of exploitation is going
Yeah.
on, especially when it's toward kids, right? Because they really don't know what's going on. They're not matured, and that. And it's kind of like their parents put them out there because they bring home that paycheck,
Hmm.
and then it's like the producer, obviously, who's matured and just could be sick. It
Yeah,
just takes
just like
you
a
know, the
power
utmost
trip too.
advantage of them. Yeah, power trip
Yeah.
too, and then it's actually weird. It's like a psychology thing too. How like the kids at that time are actually enjoying what's going on in a certain way, right? They've gotten that like emotional bond. It's kind of like weird, but it's obviously not right.
But there's also an innocence on their part of
And an
because they don't
innocence, too.
understand anything
Exactly,
that's
that
going on.
it's
Like
bad.
there was
or
the one scene with
inappropriate.
I think Ariana Grande, and he was like,
Oh,
apparently
he
Dan
like
Schneider
made
was
her
like,
like,
Right.
bro, he made her like
feet.
lay on.
no, the
Oh.
one where she was like, she put her foot in her mouth, and it was
Oh,
like,
Oh, the
yeah.
feet.
Yeah,
how
'cause he
had
was
the
obsessed with
feet
feet. Yeah,
fetish
yeah,
thing,
yeah,
The
man.
feet
Oh,
fetish
yeah,
thing.
that too.
Bro, well,
Right.
even like the Nickelodeon slime, and like every time it would be
That
like
is
something
slimy
going in
now.
their face. Like
That's
it's like,
actually wild. Yeah,
remember the
that's
nose one,
crazy
the nose
foreshadowing.
costume on that guy.
oh, so so there was this one kid on set, and what was his superhero name?
Nose man.
I'm not sorry. I don't mean. I'm not
Yeah,
trying to
I
laugh
know
at
you-
someone's
yeah.
trauma. Sorry. No. What happened to him was messed up, but.
Not good. Yeah, you're not
No,
good.
so they made so they made him go into this like superhero costume, and his whole thing was like nose guy, right? Oh, come on, nose
Don't look
man
at
or
me
nose
like
guy
this.
or something like that. So he's black, okay, and they made his nose super big,
They put like a prosthetic on.
like a
it.
prosthetic nose on him.
yeah.
And then on his shoulders were like two black noses. But the way that like the nostrils were, it like, for lack of a better term, looked like,
Yes.
penis, right?
Yeah.
So, him looking back on that now, he's like, yeah, that for sure was like, a sexual reference, right? And even like one of the scenes that they shown, he was like talking to this like lady in our office, and he's like, oh, I'm nose man, and he's like comes in,
Has
and
like
bro,
allergies or something.
he has allergies, and he sneezes on her, and
Oh
it
my
literally
God.
looks
That is so.
like bus, bro.
That's wild.
Yeah, so it's like just seeing how crazy, like, even when I was a kid, I didn't really watch Nickelodeon like that, but like I always was like, yo, that's kind of weird, but I never really like put two and two together. Whereas like as an adult, it's like, oh, you could see it for what it is. So it's like only thinking like the adults that were there or around at that time watching it were like, yo, what is this, right? So you make a good point. Like the parents weren't allowed on set. Apparently there was like, they'd have like these chaperones and stuff. So
Yeah.
I also feel like parents now and kids now are way more outspoken than they were
Oh,
back
absolutely.
then.
Right.
Like, they're not going to be like, hey, this isn't all good. Like,
And
they're
not
more
say
focused
anything.
on the money, and they're just more like, oh, like, it is what it is kind of thing. And now people aren't going to let that slide. Like, no one's letting any of that stuff
Because
slide.
we're in cancel culture. Like one thing happens and they know that they could take someone down
Big
just
breath,
for saying something out of
Instantly.
context, right?
Yep.
Mm, yeah. So I know you guys mentioned Britney Spears. Have you guys heard the conspiracy about her being cloned?
Yes. People are saying that she's not alive anymore. And that it's a robot that's posting the dancing videos where she'll like go, yeah.
I do.
So people are saying that she's dead and she's cloned.
Yeah.
People are saying, obviously, Tupac is apparently alive.
Okay.
Okay, I don't.
Saying he's on an island, like, bro.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, what do you think? There's any truth to any of these like conspiracy theories, or do you think it's just all hocus pocus?
Oh, easily.
So do you think Tupac's alive?
No, I don't.
So,
But I know for a fact, like a 1-2 man probably fake their own death.
Michael
like,
Jackson.
No.
Michael Jackson's dead.
I don't know who, but
but you think
Someone.
there's gotta be like one?
there's got to be someone for sure. It's someone like it's not someone famous. I don't think. I think it's someone like with a lot of money, like a billionaire or something.
Right.
Like the people in the submarine.
Yeah, dude.
I forgot
Yo.
Forgot about that. Still.
That came and died real quick.
Yeah, that was
You
crazy.
might.
I
Oh,
think
yeah,
it might have been.
Really? That came and died really quick. Couldn't use a better
Oh,
trick.
wow.
Wow. Wait, you pointed that out.
Oh, come on. I should let it slide still. But yeah, no, yeah. There's a lot of things like, I don't know, man. Like, I really don't want to get canceled, but like COVID, right? Like nobody, I think about it sometimes.
We're going down a rabbit hole, bro. We're going down a
think
rabbit
about it.
hole, bro.
No, just wait,
It's
just wait.
everything.
Just wait.
Everything isn't everything, bro. I'm
Just,
not doing this.
just wait.
This isn't real.
No, I'm not saying.
not
We're not real.
You're not real.
This is a simulation.
No.
I'm not doing this today with you.
No, just wait. Just hear me out, all right? I definitely think some crazy was going on, but you don't find it weird that we don't talk about it at all anymore, bro?
I just feel like that's just this generation.
Like,
Things
That's
come.
my crave
true,
culture.
You know, people, everyone's like, they post it on social media. You know, everyone's spreading awareness.
Right.
And then the next thing comes, and then that just died. And then
Right.
something else, that's just literally how it works.
Even important things, important topics,
Yeah.
come and die, bro.
Yeah, like
no one is
Malay.
talking about anything unless it's right. Unless it's
Right
current
here, yeah.
and right now
Nobody's
and
talking
this
about it.
week, no one's talking about that.
And even think about, like, I mean, it's actually very important, but Remembrance Day. This year, I don't think I saw any more than like 10 posts.
Didn't really see
from
people
Remembrance
hanging out
Day.
those poppies or anything like that.
No, and even when 9/11 came, like that memorial, like people are just less
9/11.
interested. It's just the generation is like they don't really care about it. Just new things that are coming.
What's
It's like
next?
that trend.
What's next? Yeah.
And that's the problem with TikTok too, and that's why they're trying to ban it, is because things are coming and going. People are getting smarter on TikTok. They're starting to learn how to do this thing on that, and they're just now they're trying to cancel it. And then
Do you think they'll actually cancel it?
I think they will.
Really?
Yeah. And then they canceled Vine.
Well, yeah, Vine, Musically or whatever, because TikTok used to be Musically.
Yeah, but don't you worry.
There'll be
Don't you
something
worry.
else.
Someone
There's
else
be
gonna
something
come, yeah.
else.
That's 'cause
It's
they're
never gonna
Honestly,
end.
Instagram Reels, we were watching it the
Yo,
other day. There's actually some messed up
bro,
videos on it.
Instagram
for
Reels
sure.
is unhinged. No.
I've never watched them before.
Like,
There's some
No,
bangers.
there's a
like
lot.
people getting like run over
There's-
by cars.
Yeah, like arms
There's
cut
no
off.
filter. There's no filter
No,
on
there's no
Instagram
filter.
Reels.
Yeah.
TikTok,
This-
at least you can't do anything blood. Like you can't do blood.
Right.
You can't do any
Right.
swears. You'll get
you'll
banned.
get
But
banned, yeah.
Instagram Reels, bro.
Don't matter.
Yeah, they're trying to be ethical
Twitter?
on TikTok, but
Oh,
X,
X?
I mean?
Oh.
well, X is,
Spooky.
yeah.
That is
But they
spooky.
can afford those lawsuits. They'll just keep allowing that shit to happen. And then,
Yeah.
you know, you're not paying for that. You know, yeah, so
Okay, speaking of social media, I heard the other day. Do you guys know Bell Let's Talk?
yeah, like the
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of
awareness thing
Bell
again.
Let's Not Talk?
No.
No.
But-
So they got apparently 400 employees on a Zoom call, muted them all, told them all that they were getting, I don't know if it was fired or laid off, whatever the case is, and gave them no explanation. And none of them were able to ask questions. They couldn't unmute themselves, nothing.
Damn.
So not,
Is that real?
yeah.
Bell
And they're calling it Bell Let's Not Talk.
So Bell
Well, Bell's not calling it that, but
people.
that's-
So
yeah.
Bell got 400 employees in a Zoom
Yeah. They,
and
you know
fired
how-
their asses.
You know how like if you're like the host, you can like
Yeah,
allow
you
people
could-
not to unmute.
yeah.
So no one like people are just
Allowed
freaking out right now because 400 people lost their jobs and they have no idea why.
Wow.
Something must be
Yeah, I
going on.
smell a class action. Like, bro,
Easily.
what?
Easy.
Yeah.
You can't just fire people for no reason, no probable cause. That makes no sense.
Yeah. I just thought that
So
was
you think
pretty
that's real? For real? Or you think it's planted?
Ooh.
Planted. Oh, planted.
Planted, bro.
I thought you
Planted?
said planted like PLANED.
Like planned?
Yeah, I was like, whoa, that's
Nah,
scary, bro.
All right.
Talk about planted.
You know, like, all right.
Right.
All right, bro.
Yeah, my bad. She.
Yeah, that would suck though.
See,
Imagine not being able to ask questions as to why you no longer have a job. You and 399 other people.
I don't know. Like, I just don't know. I don't see myself allowing that.
You
So
have
what
no
are you gonna
choice.
do?
What are you gonna do?
I'd
Unmute
figure out
yourself?
something. I mute myself fresh. No, I would like I don't know. I'm a serial complainer.
Oh.
Chill. I'm a serial complainer. Like I'll find a way to complain to someone. Like I'll
You
dig
will
out.
do that.
Oh, we know.
You will do that.
I'll dig out an email. I'll dig out, like don't get me wrong.
You will.
If
Go deep, Arthur.
yeah, bro. Oh my god, bro. I could just imagine the rage I'd feel if I got fired over Zoom
I think
with
they'd
like
hire you back, to be honest. just so you didn't have to deal with
399
it.
other people.
You're easily leading the class action. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, easily. Class action, coup, whatever you want to call it.
You should reach out to them and be like,
No.
"Listen, I will be the ringleader in this."
No. It doesn't affect me. I don't like complaining unless it affects me. You know, the minute it affects me in any way, oh, it's on. You know, dealership, it's on. Don't matter. Anybody can
Wait,
catch smoke.
dealership? What happened?
Don't do that.
So basically, I got a car from the dealership, and I pretty much suffered, you know, the dealer's curse, where you know they try to hide stuff in the agreement. They try to make you sign stuff that you.
That is not a normal thing. Let's not normalize that because that is.
It looked
messed up.
normal the way she was going about it. It looked normal. It was like an everyday thing.
For her.
I feel like that does happen very often.
I feel like you know what it
They
is.
hide costs. I saw a
Really?
TikTok about it.
Really?
Yeah, they hide costs.
Hide costs. Like I feel like
Illegal too.
she, the one that shall not be named, you know, was very fixated. I'll give it to her.
I hope she
Pause.
watches this.
Sorry.
Oh.
Whoa. I'll give her kudos. She was very fixated on what I said literally, and she literally tried to present what I said in literal terms. So meaning, I said I wanted my payment $191 for 4 years.
Bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly, so she did give me that. However, what she failed to mention was, you know, me being approved for a lower interest rate, which obviously affects like the amount of the deal by thousands of dollars, which is what I really cared about. But because I wasn't really giving her those full explanations, which I mean, it's common sense. Who would want to pay more for a car when they don't have to? That literally makes no sense, right? But dealerships, like most customers, they don't think like that, right? They're just like, I want this, I want it this way, and that's it. Once they see that it's that payment, they may not pay attention to the full price of the car. And
Think of how many people are getting scammed though. Like I said, like old people that maybe can't even like read, or like someone who just like came to Canada and don't even like.
Would you say okay? So would you say it's scamming, or would you say that it's, you know?
Might be a bit.
I don't want to use the word. No. I don't want to use the word scamming. I mean, what she tried to do to me was like, okay, like come on, because I blatantly But what I'm saying is I blatantly told her no. But a lot of customers probably don't blatantly say no. You know, they'll go in and they're like, oh, like I'll consider it, or you know, so they'll give the 1-2 like soft acknowledgement, which any person in a dealership is going to jump on that. So I wouldn't really say it's scamming, but definitely she tried to put something in after I said no. So that's definitely like scummy, you know?
Yeah.
So essentially, turns out that my payment ended up being cheaper by about $40 per month, which over the course of 4 years is like close to $2,000. Right? Yeah, and I just didn't like. I can go on for days on what happened, but I'll spare the people that are watching. But
thank you.
Thank you.
the amount of times I've told this story, she's probably heard of a bear. But okay, so I guess I only have a couple more questions for you guys. Do you have any other questions?
Mm-mm.
You sure?
Yeah.
Cap. What is your funniest memory together? So this could this could be from school, work. You guys mentioned you play basketball. It's 20 years, so don't tell me you don't got
Well,
no
he'll have
funny
his
memories.
story, and then I'll have mine.
Go ahead.
You guys don't think
You go
you're
first?
gonna have the same one?
You go first.
Nah.
Yeah.
He has to go first. I already said it.
Funniest memory ever?
That's tough.
That's so hard.
It's extremely tough. Because we find
Yeah.
Okay, maybe
That's
not ever,
difficult.
but
we
like
find
one,
ourselves in a lot
one
of,
that like sticks out to you.
and like even some of the bad things that are like happening. to
Yeah, we
us,
could laugh
we've
about it
Could
kinda
now.
laugh
found
about it.
Humor out of that.
Right.
Just give us one of the many.
Okay, I guess I'll go
Yeah,
first. I think one that was like one that really sticks out to me is I think it was 2018, I believe. It was my second job as a construction worker. And it's funny how I actually got the job in the first place. I didn't even apply. I literally told this guy because he had gotten the job already before me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yo, what are you doing this summer? And he's like, I'm working construction. I was like, yo, get me a job. So he literally somehow got me a job. Had no interview, no nothing. I showed up to the place. They just gave me my hard hat. I did the seminar, had the job. I was there the next day. Literally, it was within like 24 hours. Anyway, so construction hours are like, I'm doing hand gestures. I was like, what's going on? So construction hours are like pretty tough. It's pretty much like 6 or 7 a.m. till it could be as far as 7 p.m. So
Like
we're
12
working
hours,
like
yeah.
12-hour shifts a day together every single day. And like with a best friend, you're obviously gonna start to get in the little kerfuffles and whatever and disagreements and stuff. So summertime in July in Edmonton, it was like probably 30s, like straight 30-degree days. And so we had an assignment in I think it was far north. So like we had to wake up 5 a.m. And I think it was the day before it had rained, and rain days you don't really have work, it depends. And it was raining, but we got our text from our manager, our boss, and he's like, all right, we're working today. And so obviously we're in a bad mood, right? 'Cause we feel like zombies going to the same job every day. So we get to the job, and we're labor workers, which means we shovel dirt. We work in RT, which is like a little stupid remote control thing that just pats dirt down. So more dirt. We'll operate a skid steer, which is still more dirt. And so I guess the benefit of the job was like finding the best thing to do that made that badass job better,
Mhm.
And it was operating the skid steer. So now I got to do the skid steer first, and I was like, well, I want to ride the skid steer first. But like our boss is right there, so we have to be professional. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So we're actually like cheesing each other. Whatever. It's like 7 a.m. And then so he operates the skid steer for like 30 minutes. Keep in mind it's like early morning, so it's not that hot yet. So I'm cheese shoveling dirt. And I'm watching this guy just do a horrible job. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. So then finally he gets out, and I'm like, okay, bro, like I'm taking the skid steer for 30 minutes. Manager says, all right, no, we don't need it anymore. Now we got to do like this RT work. So now I'm just still not operating the skid steer. And he's just not doing shit. He's not doing any work. He's just like lightly shoveling, and I'm like, bro, like, come on, work.
Just dusting it around.
Yeah. So then he's like, shut the fuck up. And I'm like, nah, like actually shovel dirt. And then he like, nah. And so now we're just like arguing back and forth. And then I don't know exactly how it started, but like some dirt got on.
I know how that just. Don't you dare! You know how it started, bro.
I really don't know.
Don't do that.
No, I really don't know how it started. But like, I think he shoveled dirt into my boot, and I was actually, I don't know why I got so hot about it, but I was like, Okay, so I shoveled dirt on him. And then he shoveled dirt back on me. And keep in mind, our boss is actually just like watching this whole thing happen. And there's other employees of like other companies there too.
Oh my
And we're
God.
literally going back and forth, like, no, like literally shoveling
They
dirt at each
probably
other.
couldn't see anything with all the
Right,
smoke around you.
And literally, no, it was actually hilarious because like that one time he got it like up here. I was like, all right, bet. I took a fat chunk, like straight at his whole body, like in his mouth, like in his hair and all this stuff. And I was actually
Did you
like
guys
so.
get fired after that?
No, we didn't get fired.
Got a raise actually. No joke. Like I
What?
think a week later we got a raise.
Yeah, no, we actually did. But I think it was just so funny because like we really argued about like operating
a machine. Yeah.
right, operating a machine just to shovel dirt. And I just think it was just so funny because like probably 20 minutes later we were fine.
They
Like-
probably gave you guys a raise because they're like, we've never seen you guys shovel that much dirt before.
No, but the thing is, actually it could have been that, but I don't know. Like it was
That's
hilarious moment
hilarious.
that we just
That is
literally throwing
funny.
dirt at each other with
That
shovels.
is funny as hell. What about you, Nye?
Oh,
I don't even know if I can stop. I don't even know if I could top that. But
it's been a, you can top it, but you get
I can't. Yeah, I
put it on
can't. I
your
can't
stuff.
tell a 1-2 story. But we're gonna leave it at that one. But there's been a lot of times like
There's been tons of
there's
those
been a lot of
stupid ass
times.
arguments, and it was only because it was hot and it was construction. So,
And honestly, spending so much time together, like you realize that every argument is just so dumb
Yeah.
when you really think of it. Like when we
Like they
think
could be
about it,
breathing
yeah.
too loud.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're like,
and we
"Shut up."
literally we will notice it probably like right away, like literally within the day or like a day after that it's so dumb, and then it's all good. We don't even talk about it.
Yeah.
yeah, and then we take that kind of into our everyday interactions moving forward. Like, you know how people try to make bigger things out of something
Yeah,
that
it's
is
like
just
it's
so
not that
small.
serious.
Really
That
not
could be
that
resolved
serious.
right there, right?
Yeah.
Even if it is something bad like that, it's just like there's always a chance to kind of come together
Resolve it.
Yeah.
and resolve that. So
That's fair.
it's,
Fair. All right. Well, I won't hold a gun to your head for you.
well, what about you two? You can't just end on that.
Right.
That's a funny memory, you know?
A funny memory?
No gang signs, all right?
A funny memory of us?
It could be
You
an
didn't
argument.
expect that, huh?
Yeah,
No, I'm ready for you.
Right?
Just break it down. Why are you
You're
looking at
like,
me like
"Oh,
that?
okay, let's
'Cause
talk
I'm
about
trying
this
to
later."
think.
The funny memory is actually one of our first outings together, outing meaning trip together.
Oh, that's big.
Yeah, I got lost.
I like
I
that.
got lost.
You got lost.
So I went to Vegas. And went for my friend's wedding. At the time, she didn't really know them, but I was like, oh, like if you,
I haven't even met them at this point.
yeah,
Okay?
Oh wow.
yeah,
Not
she
at all?
hadn't met them yet at this point.
Old.
Yeah, so this was like probably like a couple months into us talking, I guess, at this point. We weren't even dating yet.
Yeah.
But I was like, yo, if you want to come to Vegas, like my friend is allowing me to bring like a +1. And then she also had like the month after my Vegas trip, right? It's our Vegas trip. Her boss was getting married in Mexico. So it's kind of like a trade-off to like, you know, I'll come to Vegas if you come to Mexico, which I mean, like I won that deal. But essentially we were on separate flights because obviously I booked my flight first. And when she landed in Vegas, I was already like hammered. Like,
They found an all-you-can-drink.
yeah, so there's a spot called
Vegas?
yeah, there's a spot called Blondie's. It's in Vegas. It's all you can drink.
I have heard.
Bro, all you can drink. So take this in. So peep this, all right? So we land. Okay, let me backtrack. Before we land, we obviously take off, and before then, I'm in the lounge. So I'm in the lounge. I get to the airport first. She drops me off. I get there early, right? This is obviously like Edmonton International is not busy, but I got there early with the intention to drink. Okay, so I go to the lounge. I get some drinks in me. I'm feeling good. Nothing
Chili's?
crazy.
The
Nothing
Chili's?
crazy, huh?
Was it the Chili's?
Yeah, the Chili's.
Of course.
Nothing crazy.
Those.
So everybody pulls up. I have a drink with them. So at this point, it's probably like 3 drinks. Fast forward, go on the flight, land. As soon as we land, there is a stretch Hummer limo waiting for us. I was like, oh no. I was like, there's definitely liquor in there. So, drinks, the drinks start adding up, drink 15, drink 18, like all in one day, right?
I was watching this from Edmonton on his Snap story, and he was like going up, and I was like, I'm not even there yet.
We stopped at
you're
stopped at a CVS right by UNLV, and they sell alcohol in the CVS.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, great. Oh, great. Right?
That's a banger. That's a banger.
So everybody stocks up, So keep in mind, this limo is like a party of like 20 mans in a limo, like probably 15. To be
There's
honest.
at least a rock.
Yeah. So everybody is like getting bottles. We're all sharing.
Right.
So I already looked at this point. Then they're talking about let's go to this all-you-can-drink place. So it's 5 to 6 p.m., 1 hour of you pay $30 and they bring you as many as you can drink. Okay? We got there at 5:50. 5:50, bro. 10 minutes left in the all-you-can-drink. We pay because we're already sauced, right?
Yeah.
So we pay. We start getting around. So we probably had like 8 drinks in 10 minutes, and some of the guys on the trip had edibles.
So
had an
now
hour.
18
And that's like
plus
26.
8,
Probably like
plus
30 at this point.
4.
Carry the 2 divided by 5.
So you're at like 30 drinks.
Easily.
Wow.
So I'm feeling it, but I'm like, yeah, it's
Vegas.
It's Vegas. I'm here, we all having a good time. So I don't do like contraband, right? I don't do like edibles. I don't do any of that stuff. So they had edibles, and like they didn't ask me to do it. Like you just slid it to me. Just slid it to me.
He was like, Vegas.
I was like, it's Vegas, right? So I took it, and keep in mind, I already had 30 drinks. Bro, probably in the next, what felt like 2 minutes, I got hit like a Mack truck. I was high as a kite, bro. I start walking away from the group that I was with. We were supposed to go to Topgolf for a bachelor party. We missed the booking because I just start walking off like on the Vegas Strip, and like obviously because I'm high, like I'm seeing so many people. And like I'm tripping because I'm like, why is there so many people? But like now that I think back, all the people that I saw definitely saw me and how high I was. And there's definitely all those damn people there. So my phone's about to die. She lands. She like texts me. I think I call you.
Called me immediately as I'm walking off the plane.
I'm like, yo, Rescue.
I'm
like,
she's cheating.
I'm like, yo, because keep in mind, we've only been talking for a couple months.
I was gonna say, you're not even dating.
Like, it's not like now where it's like,
It's just captive flight, not even hitting yet.
So I think we had shared location at this time.
No,
we didn't.
That's
right?
why we did.
Right. So yeah, this is why. So we didn't even share location. So she's like, share your location with me. I call her. I'm like, yo, you gotta come get me. And like I'm very like ominous with with like I'm not giving details because I'm high.
And he also keeps hanging up when I'm trying to ask him where he is.
No, valid.
So she's like, where are you? Beep.
Valid.
Where are you? Beep.
Valid.
Right?
She's like, yo, come pick me up. So where are you?
Beep.
Like,
Right.
I didn't know what you were doing.
So phone's about to die. I'm hanging up on her. She's trying to I share my location with her. She's trying to find me. Then
No, you didn't share your location. So he told me, meet me at the hotel. I've never been to Vegas, so I didn't realize there's like the strip and then like the mini strip. What was it called?
Fremont Street.
Fremont Street. That's where our hotel was.
It's like 20 minutes away.
He's like, I'll meet you there. I'm like, okay. Jumped in an Uber, get there. He's not there. So I'm like, okay. I thought he shared his location, but somehow it was me sharing my location with him. So I'm like, okay, it shows you're 2 minutes away. I'm going to walk and find you. So I'm walking circles around this hotel and I'm getting so mad. And then after half an hour, I realized I was looking at my own location. Then that's when you mentioned horseshoe.
Yeah, I'm mustering up these words. I'm like, I'm by the horseshoe. Like, come get me. And before the trip, we had went to Under Armour and we bought these green shoes, these lime green shoes, same ones I used to wear to the gym. And so I was in those Johns. I was in a white lifestyle tee, 5K.
Oh yeah.
I was
remember.
in. I had my dark. My I forgot what brand. Some expensive brand sunglasses. So I was dripped out. You know, I was dressed for the occasion. I yacked in a hotel lobby. Didn't I somehow didn't get any on
His
my
shirt was clean though.
white shirt.
So
I
weird.
didn't lose my keys, my wallet, or my sunglasses.
Or your
somehow.
phone.
Or my phone.
Wild to me.
But his phone dies. So I find out, I Google horseshoe. Okay. So I'm like, I look it up. It's on the strip, not the fake strip that I'm on. So I'm like, okay, half an hour, easy, whatever. $80 Uber ride. I was like, stay where you are. He's like, my phone's at 3%. I'm like, stay in the lobby of the horseshoe. I'm coming. He calls me 2 minutes later. I'm in the Uber right now. I was like, the Uber. Stay in the hotel. I'm coming. So I'm like stuck in traffic. I'm like, oh my God, okay. How hard is it going to be to find someone in a lobby of a hotel, right? I walk in, it's like 3 stories, slot machines everywhere. I was like,
it's Vegas.
oh,
Probably the
I
worst
didn't
place
know,
to
right?
get
I've
lost.
never been.
In-house.
So I go in and I was like, I don't even know him that well. I'm like, would he be playing like poker? Would he be doing the slot machine? So I'm like wandering around. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going back. There's crowds of like thousands of people all over. I'm like, I'm not going to find him. So I'm calling an Uber back. It now went to like $90 to get back. It was like perfect.
This is U.S. too.
Right.
So then I'm outside. I'm like on my phone. My phone's also about to die. And I look and I see one green shoe going around the corner, like far down. I yell his name. He looks at me and like melts down this like slanted wall and just starts crying.
Like, you found me.
No.
I swear to God, I've never been so relieved in my life, bro. I probably
No way.
did
I
laps
know that
around the
feeling,
same.
bro.
Like,
Yeah,
I felt like
no,
I
I
was
know those
walking
ones.
miles,
No, literally.
but I was probably in the same general vicinity,
You were. For sure.
just walking around.
But okay, so because I didn't know the people at the wedding yet,
Yeah.
I was excited because he had the Top Golf, whatever. I was gonna go explore the strip. I was gonna go do my own thing, right? This was at like not even 9 o'clock yet. He's like, we have to go back. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, he's dead.
Tap out. So
I get back
So you think he
home.
gets
I
injured?
get back
Yeah.
home. I'm sleeping. I wake up. It's the same night. I'm like, what time is it? Bro, it's like
What,
10:32.
Oh my.
I'm like, and I'd been sleeping for like maybe an hour.
Yeah.
So like literally got back to the hotel at 9:30, thinking it's like 5 a.m. So
he's like, I have to go to golf still. Starts getting ready. I'm like, I think you guys missed it.
yeah, missed golf. Yeah, it was
Oh my God.
definitely a freaking story
Seems
for
like
the
that weed
ages.
might have been laced or something.
No, it was 75.
Milligrams?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
No.
I know he told me, or the guy who gave
Yeah,
it to
yeah,
was
yeah,
it
Jesse.
Jason?
No, it was Jesse.
Yeah. Jesse was like, yeah, it was 75 milligrams each. And I was like,
Because like
Je-
nobody,
Jesse, you're shaking
no,
it, bro.
no, because
Shaking it,
to be fair to Jesse though, nobody like he was just offering it, and I took it.
Yeah,
Right?
no,
It's
he
not
wasn't
like he was
forcing
like,
it.
"Yo, take this, take this."
That's
Yeah,
true.
no.
He just like handed it to me, so he probably like, if I took it, he's probably like, "Oh, this guy does
I
edibles."
love it.
this guy does the weed.
Right. Yeah, safe to say.
Vegas.
It's Vegas.
Bro.
Oh,
I
sheesh,
hope I
man.
experience something like that, man.
It was
That
like
sounds
finding a
some-
needle in a haystack. I don't know what.
Yeah, for sure. No,
Seriously,
100%.
I
Like,
can't
what
even
are the
believe you
chances
found
I
him.
look and like it was like the corner was here and his shoe was just like crossing.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild that he heard you though. Still,
Yeah.
it's loud.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Nah, I feel like, yeah, it's angel calling.
Yeah, I think it's just.
So what would you say the distance was? Probably from here to like the front door, even further maybe.
I would say from here to the front door, but keep in mind there's like people in between, right?
So at least 50 feet.
At least minimum, yeah. Yeah, I just man, that I vividly still remember that high. Like
I have a feeling if we all go as a group, someone's getting lost, like Doug.
right, that's literally how it felt.
I agree.
Literally like Doug from Hangover. Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
scary.
Probably cat.
Cat getting lost or Omar. Well, once again, thanks to 5K for joining us. Really appreciate it. Look out for their champion.
Why the quotations? Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
of course,
Thank
bro.
you.
Of course, I'm
Appreciate it.
trying to keep some, some,
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. I'm just trying to, keep the hype going. But yeah, once again, Unseen Threads, code all lowercase for 10% off. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Do whatever those YouTubers tell you to do. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever they tell you to do, just do it. All right. But yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.